once in your life.
Oh, they picked their side. You get to play blue and red. We have these epic battles in EU where we use NP switch teams to hijack teams and more. The ESEA plugin, man, it's so great. Even if it is just a hangover from CS. What?
Live on 3, man.
Nice play-by-play, Admirable.
Oh yeah, we're live here, and I'm watching Spacewhales as they move forward onto the middle point here. The only point, actually, damn, King of the Hill. And quite a defensive posture here from Banny, just sitting up on the cliff reading those stickies in, but in comes the big bomb from Boomer. He's on 9 HP, doesn't get anything done there. Hero picks him out of the sky, and the cap point is about to unlock, and it looks like LG all the way. With 3 down now for Spacewhales, they're going to have to back off here, or else they're going to get crushed. How's that, DJZ?
LG actually have Kritzkrieg right now, so they will get crushed if they move it all forward. They have it up. Gonna put it on the bandy cam right now, see what we can do with these stickies. It is gonna be launching into the enemy spawn. Unfortunately for LG, mesr doesn't quite have his Uber yet, so Spacewhales are not gonna be pushing out. You see the push comes now. mesr in the very slim there. Oh god, he goes down as I was trying to say the word. Was it 97%? That like slim little time, the 2-second period where it was so dangerous for him, and he gets taken down by that first crit shot. Very well played there from LG. Spacewhales are now 3 down, no medic, no heals. They're still behind against a Kritzkrieg team, so that's very, very bad for them. What do you think about like the viability of some full-time crits on Viaduct, Shamba?
I love it. It's a lot of ground to cover with Ubers, and a lot of the times against a good team you'll get forced early anyways. When you know, I'd love to even crits Lang across this point. It's a pretty shitty point to crits a soldier, but I still sometimes preferred it to Ubers just because of how little you can get done with Ubers against some teams.
That's a fair point. I mean, the soldier Kritzkrieg is not out of the realm of possibility. The crits is up. Speaking of it, Shade is milking it away. Actually pops it on half health here. The first sticky goes to Dummy and takes him down. Banny's eyeing whatever he can. Tries for the stickies.
Oh man, that would have connected.
Luckily, mesr has the game sense of a hawk and is backed up into the doorway. What are you thinking so far of American TF2 Admirable? You've seen a little bit of it now. The first sight ever of it.
Yeah, I'm liking it, man. As we thrown a bit of a curveball with the crits, but we do see the Uber coming in here from Wales. It's Boomer streaming ahead with his medic here, trying to get big damage done, but quite ineffective there. They're going to back off and try and hold on to the point, and the Kritzkrieg is only at 60% right now for Shade. Lots of blue players swarming all over that point. They're going to be able to control that pretty easy as cyzer goes down. And right now, LG know that Spacewhales know that they have crits, so this is going to be interesting to see how they play it. Are they going to use some sort of distraction here as they try and push up in, or is it just going to be leading straight with that Banny God stickies, the Jesus pipes? They're moving up onto the cliff right now. They've got the cover there. They're using the metal sheets here. They're going to get ready to pop that Kritzkrieg. They see mesr in their sights, but that first crit sticky is just not good enough. He's still running away. He's going to get back, and he's juked it expertly. And I mean, they're dealing well with this Kritzkrieg so far, and Banny feels he has to go for it. He's going to go toe-to-toe here with the Spacewhales combo, but meanwhile the rest of his team are cleaning up on middle because he's just taken the heals out of the game there, and the Uber gets forced off as well, DJC. That's not good.
Very honestly misplay there from the Spacewhales. Everyone died, and then they solo Ubered onto Boomer to try and kill Banny. They got Banny, but they lost their Uber. They had nobody else who could rush on the point, so they got no other kills, and now they're down to a Kritzkrieg yet again. They might be able to earn a recap out of this just because Banny had the long spawn time, but you can see LG are fighting... Excuse me, Spacewhales are fighting on the point right now. LG forced to back it off. I think Spacewhales will be fine with the recap and to back it up slightly because that crits is here right now, so we once again get to see what Banny can do. This will be his 3rd attempt at Kritzkrieg. He's 1 for 2 so far. He spots the combo right now. Surprised he's not calling for the crits yet. He actually pops it right now. Aiming for that medic. mesr backs up ever so slightly. 3 stickies, no kills yet. Make it 5, and 0 for 5 is Banny. Kritzkrieg is a bit of a failure there. What do you think went wrong, Sean Bud?
mesr, he played super far back, but I mean, they're not even getting kills with these crits as DJ, they're getting the point. It's basically a free retake for them just because mesr has to play so far back to not get crits on. He looks like they're Ubering in his scout here to try and get Shade so they don't keep getting crits advantage though.
Yeah, they pop in right now. They're moving in onto the house. Tyrone and Banny dead. Where is Shade? I'm trying to spot him. You're actually going to get a pick on a YZ. And here comes David AC, the flank machine. They get 3-4 picks. Spacewhales are struggling here in this fight despite having the Uber advantage, the better
getting
fight.
Chased by a scout back in his spawn right now.
Yeah, but look at that crossbow aim. He actually
He's
hit
gonna
2
make
there, I think. This is what LG can do. They can just use this Chris advantage, force some fear into LG, or force some fear into Whales, and just take 5-10 seconds of the point at a time. And right now they have crits, they have 15 seconds to go. Why don't you close this round off for us, Admirable?
Yeah, right now LG coming or in the defensiveness with that crit. It gets popped off finally. Banny redeems himself with a double there onto Dummy, and Boomer really Wheels had nothing else to do. And I feel up until this point they just haven't used their Ubers effectively. I know they have the fear of that crit speed, but even when they repush with those Uber charges, man, they just pop it off so early, and LG are just loving that. They've got so much room to maneuver to back off and just keep Shade alive. I don't know how many times he died in that round, but it was a very low number.
He died once there at the very end. They're getting Shade out when they Uber back in to kill Shade, and they're not focusing Shade. So Shade just kept crits advantage the whole round, and they got so much position out of him, even if they weren't getting kills.
We see mesr on crit streak, Shade on Uber, the big bomb behind by Dave AC. First pick is Blaze, cannot get in to make a play here. Spacewhales' position has been compromised quite a bit. They're trying to back their medic off through house. There is a soldier though. Dave AC is in the house. He's spotted by the scout. Both scouts on him will clean him up. Hero is dead as well, so it's actually pick advantage to the Spacewhales, but they have no health on anybody. Cyzer is down. It's 3 versus 4 right now with spawns coming for the Whales. mesr slightly behind on Uber. And look at this, no cap time after an initial fight of Viaduct middle. That is bizarre to me. Looks like LG actually doing a contest this though. They're holding aggressively.
Actually on crits right now.
Yeah, and they got it so late. I don't know what they're going to do with this. I mean, can they bait out LG's Uber somehow and keep mesr up so they can get the counter crits out of it?
They can try to drop Shade, but it's on LAN. He does manage to pop as the crits was called.
They pop the crit streak at the same time Shade popped his Uber. It will work out well, because this means that if mesr stays alive, he will get the crits advantage back, but he's on 65 HP right now, getting pressured. Taken down by Dave AC. The scout is still in the fight, though. Wisey will take down Banny. Cap's been taken by LG, so they should be able to even this out, maybe even a little more. Shade did stay alive, but look at the health on LG. Maybe 100 total between the soldiers and Shade, and they're all bunched up on point right now. Blaze wanted to come in there, but just couldn't find the angle.
Wow, I just creamed my pants at that Shade at Uber. That was just like a millisecond before that crit sticky came into his face. Just beautiful right there. And we do see the Whales pushing back here. It's a non-Ubered push. They're just going to muscle their way in here and try and make something happen, but they've taken so much damage in the process. The defensive posture here from LG just coming out on top. It looks like they've fallen thick and fast. That's 2 down right now. Blaze is half health. He's surely going to go down. Can mesr survive long enough to keep his team in this round, or is he going to go down? But LG have managed to secure that point, and both medics have stayed alive, so we're going to see big action coming up very soon.
Crit streak almost back up for mesr.
Shade
actually has Uber again, yeah. It's going to be interesting. Again, like, this is the worst situation in the world to be in. You have crit squeak, but they have Uber. How do you approach it? Looks like they do want to get it onto Dummy here. Give him one sticky, one shot to blow. They pop. Oh, Shade is down!
Shade doesn't get popped.
They probably should have heard that, should have spotted it. They had vision at least. Soldiers coming in on mesr, though. Nice surf away. Down to 7 HP. Both soldiers are in. Tyrone goes down to the nice pipe from Dummy. There's a scout there. The health pack's not up. mesr. Oh! Dummy with the save. The brilliant pipe right before the health pack spawns, and mesr will live another day. So if you have crit squeak here, Sean, but and you're holding this point, do you want to use it aggressively every time, or do you want to try and bait something out of LG?
If LG's smart, they're going to go right now with their spawns. They know that they just crits. They don't quite have it yet. Metz's going to have it here in a few seconds, so if LG doesn't move, then they need to worry about doing spawns and start playing on Uber advantage again. Looks like they are going to try and push with it, though.
Yeah, right now Blaze gets a nice pick on Hero on the flank, but look at this admirable. Shade is aggressive with Banny on the left side. They're getting good spam, but I think they're actually going to be forced to back out here.
Banny knows that they just got the crits. He knew they had about a 5-10 second window to see if they could start working the point. He knew that they got it, so they had to back out. They can't be on their side of the house when Dummy's got a crits.
And the Whales want to take an aggressive position, but I have food in my mouth, so take it away, Admiral.
Yeah, I really like this position from Wales. I mean, they can basically use the crits here as soon as they see any sign of that LG combo. Once Shade shows himself, they can crits and back off and just sort of use this height advantage and the sort of defensive bonus you get from holding middle just to juggle him for long enough to make the Uber pretty ineffective. It's going to be up to the position of their players not to give away any easy picks, but there is action going on here on the flank. There comes that crits. The Uber is forced off, but the position here from mesr is just not good enough. He had no soldiers there for to take the. Both soldiers jumped up top on the cliff, couldn't juggle anyone back, couldn't save him, couldn't buy him enough time, and Dummy jumped out, but now mesr's gone down. That's going to just hand the advantage back into Shade's hands, and the clock is ticking down in favour of LG now, although they are 30 seconds behind the pace. It looks like they'll be able to hold on for this for quite a while as mesr's just respawned. He's going to be getting that charge up again. He is open to stay for the crits. I guess they feel they can't go toe-to-toe with the Ubers at this stage of the game, man.
They should be able to push without Uber right now. LG played that push perfectly. They knew they were going to get crits right in the face as soon as they stepped out of spawn, but LG just popped as soon as they had it. They managed to take the point, but now it's even Ubers. You see a push coming in right now. Looks like Dave jumped in behind, they turned around.
They got a pick off of that, which is just kind of sad because all 4 people reacted. Dave actually going to get out here. He's on like 9 HP, dancing around. YZ will have to come in and clean him up. It's 2 down for LG. Clockwork the only death, but Shade does have that Uber mesr. Not quite there yet. The pop is going to come out. Here comes the bomb out of Tyrone. Aggressive onto the combo in main, but Dummy putting up some very nice defensive stickies. Tyrone is now overextended. Gets cleaned up by YZ50. But looks like Banny and his scout buddy want to just back it out through the right. They know that this is a free recap for the Spacewhales, and with an Uber up, they can milk so much time away from this as long as they keep mesr safe. Interesting to see what kind of defensive position Spacewhales take up here. They do have this Uber. They don't want this to get forced. This could earn them a free minute. Actually, is it Kritzkrieg? And I didn't even notice.
Crits, yeah.
Wow.
Boomer with huge crits underneath the platform there.
That is such an aggressive play out of Spacewhales. I love it. The fact that they stuck with Kritzkrieg after losing their medic and falling behind on the Uber, confident enough that they're going to get the force out. You can actually see that YZ gets caught out trying to be aggressive on the right cliff. You know, despite the fact that Shade is 50% ahead now, if they can get more forces out like that and re-crits onto them and get Boomer some picks, it's very, very effective for Spacewhales so far. They're down to 25 seconds. LG re-pushing. cyzer the first death. Dave Seaon on the clockwork. Uber not yet forced out from Shade. Here comes the bomb. Gonna pop him. Uber is off. mesr just needs to stay alive, and I think Whales have this round. He's getting chased down by the soldier and Demo. mesr unfortunately has to juke back to the point. Goes for the Uber Saw. Cannot get it, but they're now 2 down for LG. Maybe Spacewhales can mount some kind of offensive comeback here, ads.
Yeah, I mean, crits versus Uber is never a clear-cut thing. It's not like the Uber charge is always going to win, because it's all about positioning and how you can just sort of buy time until that Uber charge fades. And I really like the fact that Spacewhales are going for that option, but the positioning just isn't there. Like, mesr's having to try and perform miracles there. He's just not giving himself enough room to escape, or he doesn't have soldiers around him. Like, sure, Demo does a lot of damage, but he just can't protect you enough. Like he can't create the space the way soldiers can with those instant rockets, and right now it looks like this is going to be over. That's 2-1. And I hope they stay Kritzkrieg and just try and tweak it a little bit, man. I'm enjoying it, but...
Yeah, it looks like mesr actually is still on Kritzkrieg, so what do you do here, Sean? Do you want to get aggressive on this middle to protect your Kritzkrieg, or what?
You gotta get eyes on the beam for sure. That was a surprise crits last round. They gotta at least scout the beam and see if it's crits or not. If it is crits, then they gotta start thinking about backing out if the mid-fight drags out here.
Yeah, Benny's got good initial damage on the combo from his safe position on the rock. I haven't seen Dave AC go airborne yet because he's so weak. Shade actually low as well, but the picks are going LG's way as Boomer and YZ are down. But I think Whales are in a better position to push forward right now. Clockwork is in, dancing around on the faces. Look at all the health on LG. Everyone in the red. They actually are just losing every player they possibly can. Looks like they will get their medic out. 90 health on Shade. Tyrone down to 40, as low as like 20 there, I think. But this means, once again, Spacewhales are in kind of the worst position to be in on Viaduct. You have Kritzkrieg. Your opponent's Uber is up. How the hell do you play it? Looks like LG want to flood through all one angle, just surprise them. Here come the bombs from Spacewhales. Tyrone is in really deep as well. Uber is forced out by Shade. They don't realize mesr has crits yet. Tyrone gets picked off by Blaze at the end of the fight. Banny was in there as well, trying to force. Here comes Banny's bomb. Actually, Sticky's onto mesr. Nice jukes there. The Kritzkrieg is going to be popped. Let's see if Dummy can get any more cleanup kills. Scout and Soldier in aggressive. Bomb comes out from Dave AC. He's under the cliff, dodging all of these pipes. Jumps away again. The magic power of gunboats is just too strong for Spacewhales right now. Gets cleaned up on the point by Clockwork, and it looks like Spacewhales have held the line for now, ads.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, our stream just went down briefly as the magical power of TF2 rivaling that of gunboats, and Lang's TF2 has crashed. He will be back shortly. In the meantime, enjoy this radio cast of Admirable.
Well, I just really like that play from DVC. It was nothing too spectacular, but he basically faked out Dummy and forced him to waste all his crits there, nullifying any effect of that Kritzkrieg, and managed to almost escape alive. Got finished off by a bit of buckshot between the shoulder blades. But right now it is an advantage for LG, who need to push in here. They've got the Uber charge though, and the crits has come off early and they've got nothing done with it. Shade hasn't even popped off yet. He does have that charge though, and they will be just working their way forward and getting ready to crush here. Where is he? Yes, here they come now on that step side, pushing through the tunnel. They've got mesr in their sights. They've actually been forced off here, and they haven't got the momentum to push ahead with it. The Uber's about to fade as Tyrone just gets into the face of Boomer and he finishes him off. Wow, that was a totally ineffective Uber charge to counter that totally ineffective crits, but they managed to catch the point.
I agree. mesr did manage to stay alive. They wanted to Uber in and take down mesr, but mesr hit a pretty good surf there, and they killed Tyrone before he was able to finish him off. mesr, the crits aren't really getting anything done, but they're getting him a lot of really good position and a lot of good time. If you look at the clock, they're already about 2 minutes ahead. It's ticking down now, but that was actually the first time LG was able to cap. mesr's gonna have a re-crits right about now, so LG has to start thinking about backing up. They gotta get Shade back. If they crits dummy out bottom right here, looks like they're going to. Let's see if Shade can pop, or actually doesn't have Uber, but let's see if they do get out. They do manage to get out. You see Dave here stalking on Cliff. Looks like he's about to jump in. We just wait for this crits to end.
The good thing here for
Spacewhales,
despite that crit streak not being really effective, they managed to waste so much time in that crits versus Uber, like 3 engagements they had, and they're going to earn more time here, and they force the Uber, in fact, on Shade off of the bombs. There's also a soldier getting juggled. Tyrone gets taken down. Dave AC wants to get aggressive here onto mesr in the main pathway, but Banny is down to clckwrk. Huge pick on the flank here, so this Uber has been wasted. They have lost their most important players. It's 3v3 right now. We have lost the stream again, apparently. Some big issues with TF2 happening. I heard an Uber saw swing go off, and mesr is the victor in that battle. 70% crits creek up for him, trying to sort out our stream problems. We apologize for them, but here comes the bomb once again. Tyrone cleaned up mesr with some amazing survivability. Was down to 10 HP at one point, admirable.
Yeah, it just seems to be a bit of confusion creeping into the LG ranks there. Like, they must have felt confident going in there once the crits had failed again and they had that Uber charge, but they just couldn't seem to decide who they wanted to kill. The players went behind the scouts on the flanks as well. They didn't know where to deal the damage. They should have just gone ahead and got the kills in my eyes, but they sort of dilly-dallied and they got punished. And right now we're going into overtime here as LG fight tooth and nail to gain control of this point. We've got 2 minutes and 22 seconds to run down, but it looks like they just got cleaned up.
Yeah, they kept their scouts up. The scouts mulched Shade and Banny on the back end and then came back for the cleanup on the point at the end. So Spacewhales does win that round, guys. It's now 2-1 in favor of LG.
We get to go to the 4th middle here. Spacewhales looking like they figured out the magic at Crits Creek. They're going to actually stick with it. Looks like Shade is still on his Uber charge. So once again, we'll get to see this battle play out. Hopefully it goes better for LG, because they're not going to win if they play like that against a Crits Creek. You can see the early bombs here. Dave AC's in behind, trying to clean him up. Banny is down. Nice air pipe by Dummy onto Tyrone. And that is 3 dead for LG. No health on Hero. He is going to get cleaned up by Dummy. The only loss was Blaze. So Spacewhales came in this with some confidence. So confident, in fact, that clckwrk and YZ50 are rushing. Look at clckwrk in aggressive on main there against a buffed scout. So ballsy, so conky out of him.
And it seemed like LG were happy enough. I think they're just assuming that
Wales is still on crits, and they're pushing into spawn with the crits.
Wow, this is optimistic.
Banny goes down, though. That's a huge pick. I think Shade is actually...
Camp.
Oh my god,
oh
cyzer.
my god. The debt takes out Paul, yeah.
And the escape plan kill on the flank.
And our technical problem is continuous. Lang is asking for the IP of STV, but we'll keep the radio cast going for as long as possible. Right now we see Shade working out onto the cliffside with his whole team surrounding him here. A giant blob of red players. As they move forward, they see a blue flash there. That is Boomer jumping past our Blaze, but right now it's Dummy fighting tooth and nail to try and defend that point, or get his medic out alive. He does manage to back off with mesr and give LG the point, but they have that crits creek up. It's going to be crits against Ubercharge. Yeah, again, how will LG react to it this time? They just seem terrified every time those crits come out.
The proper reaction would be just Uber Tyrone into them and kill the medic. As soon as he steps out of spawn, looks like that's what they're trying to do here. I think mesr managed to get out to spawn, but he's still throwing out some crit stickies. Banny and Hero go down at the end there.
Shade actually dead at the end too. Nice play by YZ50. mesr has stayed alive. He just has nobody to heal. But still, this is going to work to be a very big Crits Creek advantage. And to be honest, LG didn't take away as much time there as they needed to. 20% crits up. Shade still has 5 seconds to go. They're going to be at about 50% Crits Creek by the time Shade has found somebody to heal. They might earn a recap off of it too, so they won't even be behind on time. Very well played by the Spacewhales. Banny is spotting right now from back right. I just want to make sure Shade is on Ubercharge. Does not want to go Crits Creek. Does not want to match up Dummy versus Banny in an epic battle of 500 damage. Stickies, David's seen Hero down. Where did all this action come from? It's supposed to be the pass. Oh my lord! Shade the only one alive! Dummy with a 3 kill off of Stickies there. Wow. I didn't even see what happened. I just saw sticky explosions and then everyone was dead. Oh, Crits is actually being popped super aggressive here. What the hell are they doing? They got Shade with it! Oh my god!
Spacewhales are using the scripts absolutely perfectly. LG had one chance to get the advantage back when they tried to Uber in and kill mesr on that, but YZ managed to take down Shade and mesr actually lived, so it worked the opposite in LG's favor. But Spacewhales keeps his crit advantage. I don't know if LG's gonna be able to retake the point. They're already a minute ahead of this round. You actually have Hero on Sniper too. It looks like they're trying to work the point here off Sniper pick.
We're trying to get the stream up and running. Lang is getting disconnected from the STV every time he gets in. Hopefully we can sort that, find him somewhere he can actually connect. But in the meantime, you're just going to have to deal with the radio cast. We do apologize. Shade going to go down here to Blaze. Clockwork not done. He wants to 1v1 the scout, but backs it up to the cliff. Gets his support now. mesr once again has his crit streak up. Will we see crits into the spawn?
Crits, yeah.
If they just put 7 crit stickies outside of the spawn somewhere hidden. Scout is actually rushing Dummy, though. Dummy can't hit him. They pop the crit streak. Crits will not get any kills, but cyzer does get cleaned up. mesr has stayed alive. Tries... Oh, he actually pops Hero as he peeks out the spawn door. Wanted to go for the sniper body shot onto the medic. Admirable.
Yeah, this is just insanity, man. I'm wondering if LG just not experienced this sort of hyper-aggressive crits play, not just running crits all the time, but the way they're getting right into their spawn. They must be just getting a little flustered, and now we see LG pushing back. No overcharge in the picture right now, but they have the man advantage, and they've got plenty of buffs as they move forward. They're getting time onto the point, although they're sort of dodging away from it right now. I wish they would start. Cap minute, yep, they're going to get on that.
Man, and, Wales has been so aggressive using these crits so well that this is the first opportunity LG has even had to retake the point. Shade kept going down to those spawn cam crits, and I mean now it looks like mesr's almost got another crits ready for him. Shade doesn't have an Uber, so as soon as you see mesr step out of spawn, I would expect to see him Uber someone into mesr to try and kill him.
They're about to crits right now. The Uber's actually popped by Shade. Crits at the same time. Dummy trying to get some cleanup frags. cyzer will go down. Banny eats the crit sticky on point. Soldier is aggressive on a Dummy, but he eats a ton of damage and a pipe. Tyrone is dead. Hero gets a cleanup on the Dummy, but it's not going to matter. Everyone's low life. YZ just walks straight forward into Shade. Shoots him twice and he is dead, and then comes back around to clean up Dave AC. And once again,
wiped. Wales is going to take that round.
It is 2-2 right now, and we cannot apologize enough for the STV issues we are having here. I'll try to get in contact with RK and see if there's anything we can do.
Man, that couldn't have gone any better for Spacewhales. Like, the way they isolated the combo there, the Uber got forced off, but they weren't able to save the other 4 players in the team, and it was just like a perfect storm for Kritzkrieg against Ubercharge. And right now, we do see Wales with the slightly more aggressive posture. Again, Dave AC bombing in behind, but every time he's getting spotted by the scouts and just taking constant damage while he's in the air. Clockwork onto Dave AC. That's a man advantage as they move forward here. And Blaze has gone down trying to do the same. Boomer eats a pipe from Banny. cyzer onto Clockwork. And it looks like LG might be able to get some time onto this one, but is Kritzkrieg still in the picture here? I'm trying to find mesr.
mesr has Ubercharge. He's at 70% right now. They're way behind on this.
I wonder why they opted to change, man. They win 2 rounds off of Kritzkrieg and then they switch it up. What?
We see actually the Ubers are going to come out here from Shade. They will take down YZ50 and Clockwork. 2 scout picks, maybe not enough. Make it a soldier as well. The flank is dead for Spacewhales, and now they're kind of caught out. Stickies are going to pin them off. Is anyone in the spawn? You actually see the scout there trying to get his force out, but cyzer will get cleaned up. mesr only down to about 89 HP there. They're going to re-heal and just push right back in, see if they can take 30 seconds back off the clock. I'm looking for Dave AC right now to make the play to go for the force, but he's just going to jump away. I think that LG are content letting Spacewhales Uber into this point and then just backing up.
Do they know it's Uber though? Are they expecting crits? Is this their position and they're trying to keep men alive here? They're just keep backing off and backing off?
Since they haven't crits him yet, I think they've got to assume that he's back on Uber.
Yeah, Tyrone went in for the force
someone has called the beam by now. Yep.
Tyrone went in for the Uber, got 2 rockets, and the scout came in late to get the force. It is a nice Uber usage there from Spacewhales because they will get the point. And look at his aggression into the spawn again. There's a scout hiding in main, but he's going to back it up. YZ doesn't want to commit to that too strongly. Forward hold being done by Spacewhales. Dummy has control of the far right side. mesr is back pretty safe near the point with his soldier. They're going to have the scouts rotate over the left. Dummy actually gets picked though. Way too aggressive, had no support. The Uber is up for LG, so 30 seconds off the clock for Spacewhales. Maybe not much more. The Uber's going to be popped. Where is mesr right now? Gotta see if he's taking any damage. He's actually caught out. Did he get an Uber saw swipe? Shade is in behind. Shade is in no man's land, is taken down as well, and that is a disaster for LG. Uber pop. They get right onto the medic, and they will get no cap time out of this.
Yeah, man, the combo play's been really bad from LG. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen Tyrone, Banny, and Shade pushing forward and just getting crushed or getting separated. And Tyrone got dropped there, Shade was left stranded, and just really need to sort of get their mojo going, man, get the good rhythm going. Right now they're trying to push in non-Ubered here, and it is 80% in the bank for mesr. He just needs to survive a little bit longer and he's going to be able to bring the hurt, but right now he's going to just stay alive so he can fight another day. LG are going to get time onto this point, but the Uber charge will be coming in momentarily. They might even get the block. No, they don't get the block, but they are right in the thick of it here. They can do a lot of damage, but they're not entirely sure who they should be shooting. They're not focusing targets, and they don't even get a single frag out of that Uber, man. How did they not capitalize there?
I don't know, but it looks like they will at least earn the cap and take some time away. Cyzer the only death. So Sean Bud, right now, if you're in the Spacewhales position, you know the Ubers are going to come. Are you content with this time? What are you trying to do here if the Uber does come in?
You've got to get mesr out. I mean, you can sacrifice people to try and get Shade after this Uber expires, but you got to get mesr out to try and make sure you can at least retake it. Shade does go down to a big scout flank from Clockwork.
Shade
Actually, that
dead.
might even give them enough picks to try and muscle their way back onto the point right now.
He got a lot of damage on a Banny.
Oh, it's just down to Mesr and Boomer though, and they've got 2 scouts swarming them right now.
Hero was actually caught up in the pipe.
Ooh, wow.
Hero is actually, looks like he's lagging around a little bit, some computer lag there, I would guess, but he gets out of the fight. Banny on very low life, couldn't get cleaned up there, but look at this, the time is 140 to 115. Right now, the Spacewhales have enough of a time advantage that by the time they get this Uber, they'll be able to move right onto the point, and if they get a recap, they will have lost nothing for this. They will still be in the lead, but they are getting spammed out really aggressively here. There's the bomb coming in from the big Dave AC soldier jump. He actually gets killed at the end of it. The force comes out. Look at this aggression by Boomer, too. He's onto the demo. He's onto the soldier. He's onto everything. LG back it out, and we're going to see some leapfrogging Ubers here. This is kind of the most intense way to play Viaduct. Just keep popping Uber after Uber onto the point over and over and see who comes out the winner at the end of the day. Hope that you get the lucky cycle on it.
Oh, whoa! IC50's trying to go huge here. Picks up 2. Cyzer and Tyrone does get finished off by Hero, but mesr picks up a sick crossbow there on to DVC, and I think you guys are used to it, but we've only got bite in terms of crossbow skills in Europe. We don't have any big fraggers, man.
Yeah, European players are generally pretty bad. We do see that LG have their Uber, but they've wasted so much time getting to the point that mesr should be able to get his. He has 4 seconds left. Tyrone is in aggressively, wants to jump, wants to lead this Uber off strongly, but mesr now has it. And what are LG going to do if they go Uber versus Uber when their Uber versus no Uber has been going catastrophically? mesr pops onto the scout on the point. Why is he trying to just clean up whoever he can? But nice flashing work out of Shade here. Boomer, in fact, the only one dead. There is a soldier behind. Tyrone is cleaned up, but Dave AC is on the health pack, doing what David AC does. He's pretty low, but Banny's going to connect a nice pipe on a YZ, and now Dummy is stranded on the point. Cap's still not taken by LG. They're going to get this, but there's going to be about 5 seconds left. Actually, nobody is capping. What the hell are they doing? They're trying to chase frags that they definitely should not be. Now mesr is on 18 HP. I know they wanted mesr down, but that was a really questionable decision. They have a huge Uber advantage to Spacewhales, but I really do not understand the play there out of LG. They could have just capped that, and now, if Spacewhales cap this, it's over, so LG have to flood into this point. They have both scouts. Soldier there, they do not have Banny. Clockwork made a great pick on him to end the fight.
Man, that was so well played by Wales. They had the clocks were tied about 1:15 each, and I mean, Spacewhales just managed to drag that fight out, and they kept mesr alive. I think they actually dropped Shade at one point, and I mean that fight was so extended, and LG was just never able to always get the cap 100%. So the clock just kept ticking down until they had to get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Clockwork made a really great play at the end of that round there. He knew that they were going to get their Uber up and they were going to have to push the point, and he knew that the biggest thing that would stand in the way of that Uber being successful was Banny, so he rushed Banny. He ended up finishing off with the 3 rune blade, stabbing Banny to death. I hope he slid it right into his back. It is 3-2 for Bro right now as we're in the second half. Starting off here, I'm going to watch the Whales roll out. Boomer waiting for his buff. I want to see some double soldier aggression out of Spacewhales here. Looks like Blaze is going to move through the tunnel. We see some nice spam coming out from Banny, as always, getting good damage on the enemy team.
Hero sniping here, Hero sniping. He's got eyes on Banny. Misses the headshot. Or not, on Dummy, I mean.
Dummy, you mean? It takes a second shot, actually gets cleaned up by Boomer. Nice spot there, Admirable. Picks have gone in favor of the Spacewhales. His 3 are dead, but the health, once again, this is what happens on Viaduct. You get the picks, but your health is so bad that it could switch at any moment. Looks like Shade does have his Uber up. Actually, it's a crit screed. Once again, we're missing all kinds of spots here. Clockwork will go down to that, but is that the only pick he's going to get? He will get Dummy, as Dummy just kind of sacrifices himself to get mesr out. And Spacewhales did cap that. They will have their Uber. They're going to get quick spawns once this recap comes. They're not even going to let them have the point. They jump in with both soldiers aggressively. Crit stickies are everywhere. Banny's going to try and get some kind of death here, but the scout is cleaning them up smartly. Blaze is dead. The Uber has been wasted, and his mesr are going to die. Gets cleaned up by Hero. I like the play from Spacewhales, but the result was just not there.
It was a good idea to try and block the point with the Uber, but I think they might have rushed it a little bit. I don't think their spawns were quite ready for that push. And then it kind of showed. Once the Uber was, once the Uber was out, the spawns were too far away to help. They kind of got picked apart as they came in.
Keep seeing the same sort of thing happening. It's like the team with Uber goes in really deep to try and get frags, but then players get behind and they sort of start second guessing themselves, and they try and go back, they try and go forward. There's no real commitment from the team. Like if they just went forward, tried to kill the enemy combo, maybe even just bought a little time behind, whatever, it might be long enough, but they just stay in this middle ground, they get swarmed and just get crushed, and it's happened to both LG and Spacewhales as far as I've seen so far. But I just think there's no clear decision making going on here. I wish they had a better execution, a better plan. It just seems really messy to me, man. That's my Euro perspective.
We do see mesr gets a nice crossbow kill at the end of the fight there, and we'll have a huge Uber advantage. Spacewhales get the recap here. They have 230 compared to the 150 of LG. That Uber alone should give them enough here. It looks like they want to get really aggressive with this Uber as Shade is caught out. Aggressive play from LG here will cost them. Shade taken down. Tyrone and cyzer dead as well. The only pick is Blaze, and I think he will gladly take that trade every time. Gotta get my eyes on Dave AC though. He's actually back at his spawn. I heard the rocket jumps going, but he did not want to go in aggressively and try and take down mesr there. And while I have a bit of a downtime here, I will just... Oh god! Hero just peeks out the door, headshots mesr, and walks away. Wow. Well, no more downtime. Push is going to come from LG. They will combine two soldiers onto YZ50. Now about a 50% advantage for Shade here. Blaze is fighting aggressively, keeping LG distracted, keeping them away from the point, so that Spacewhales have now taken over the lead in time. Probably will not last for long, though. mesr has just now come up. Shade is actually on crit streak, so this is 70% of a crit streak. Dave AC is trying to fight dummy in main as well, but will get cleaned up by the stickies, and maybe Spacewhales want to push off of this, expecting LG to have Uber and not have it yet, and if so, they're going to be in a world of hurt, Sean Bud.
Yeah, it looks like LG's coming back in this with the crit advantage. They were devastating early on with this crit advantage. They like won that first round with like 3 minutes to nothing here. So let's see if they can capitalize on this one. So crits isn't actually getting anything done, but they're getting a lot of kills on the flank.
Yeah, and now this is 70% Uber from mesr. All they have to do with this Uber once it's up is kill Shade. Shade already on 45 HP. cyzer wants to chase mesr into the spawn. Crossbows are coming out, but cyzer's not going to get to him in time. Actually does manage to get the pick on Blaze, who just errantly rocket jumped back home trying for safety, but cyzer was there to interrupt. And for those who are just now joining us, there is an issue right now that is not on ESEA's end. Something is wrong with TF2 in that it's disconnecting people from the STV, so we do apologize that this is an issue. We'll hopefully be able to figure out some way around this. Right now the mid fight is going on though. mesr has his Uber up. Cap time is going to go to Spacewhales. They haven't had to pop their Uber yet. Here comes the force actually as the soldier gets in behind. That was of course Dave AC. Hero the one frag they've gotten so far though, so not the best use of Uber. They aren't going to get enough time out of this. Shade is up to 80% on his crit streak. Dave AC actually with a really unique hiding spot right now. One of my favorites on Viaduct. He's sitting above a doorway, just gonna wait, sit there forever, and hope someone walks through.
It's gonna be Shade and Banny pushing up on that cliffside, DJC, and the bombing comes in. He's trying to get that force, so this is unsuccessful. Meanwhile, Boomer's just raining in. Rocket stand at the top of that slip, spamming them down, and Shade drops that crit screen. Couldn't pop to save himself, couldn't even get any of his teammates to save him, and I think LG will probably get this point, but the repush is going to be coming pretty promptly, DJC.
Yeah, the cap is going to go here to LG, so they will be able to take some further time away, but with 3 picks right now, Spacewhales have an easy retake. Shade has no percent on his crit streak, and mesr's up to 85. So this should mean that Spacewhales will be able to take a very defensive position, but here comes the bomb. Dave AC wants in on mesr. Nice surf there by the combo, moving in unison, and here come the aggression out of Dummy and Blaze, taking over the cliff. Banny's putting up some defensive spam to keep himself safe, but the double soldier bomb once again, they're spotting out targets, but they get nothing done. Banny hits a nice pipe on a Blaze. The Uber's going to come out here from mesr, and they're chasing with a soldier into spawn, but he is getting juggled through that choke point. So once again, we leapfrog. Spacewhales will get a lot of time off of this Shade, up to 65% Uber, Sean Bud.
Yeah, they're actually getting pressed all the way back into spawn with that Uber. It's Shade managed to do a really good job staying alive until now. Deming takes him down with a sticky.
Yeah, pretty
sorry, I can't
solid
see
there.
if my HUD Seaver's messaging me.
Yeah, I'm
pretty
getting a lot
solid
of
from
messages
Wales,
as well.
like mesr just getting totally out of position there. And again, just everyone jumps away, leaves him, he dies. I'm sad. What is the steal here anyway? Is it first to 4, first to 5? I don't understand the American
First
rules.
to 4.
Wales will win if they get these last 2 seconds.
Yeah, but they did lose mesr instantly. Dummy will make the counter pick onto Tyrone, but he is dead as well. Here come the bomb. Shade is down. Banny getting pressured, but will survive there because the rocket just would not come out of Blaze's
Some of the 2
launcher.
scouts are trying to delay until they can get some more spawns up here. I don't think they're going to do it. I think LG's got this round.
It looks like LG have taken this. The closest round we've had so far finishes off with 0 on the clock for one team and 2 for the other. Fantastic there. So that will draw it even at 3-2. And we are now here at the effective golden cap of Koth Viaduct RC3. And this is where we see who wins, and we get to find out what the next map is, who picks the next map. We're taking over the mid-fight here. I'm going to put my camera on clckwrk. I really want to see what he does.
Snipe it again.
Once again, Hero on Sniper, good spot, admirable. clckwrk is just waiting for his buff, trying to get aggressive. Spots out the Soldier. He's doing nothing, so I'm going to switch it over. I'm just going to take a look at what's happening here. No real aggression yet, but here comes the Spacewhales aggression. Blaze is down, Boomer is in, aggressive on the cliff, but he's dead as well. The only person who's died so far is Dave AC, and that's pretty much a given every single mid. Wisey actually cleans it up, though, takes on the Sniper. Still fighting, the Sticky comes in to save Cyzer's life. Both scouts dead for the Spacewhales. It's now 3 up. And they're getting their late spawns here off of the Soldiers. mesr's going to have to run away and try and maintain that 70% Uber he has.
Yeah, both medics opting to run the normal medigun this time. It's going to be Uber versus Uber, but mesr doesn't even have his yet. He's got 90%. He's trying to move forward, but he needs to make sure he gets it before he gets in there. The Uber gets forced off from LG. mesr's got it in the tank. He pops it off. And now LG have got their combo stranded behind again. Shade realises it's going wrong, gets back to save his scouts. And the Uber from both teams quite ineffective yet again. Blaze manages to pick up Tyrone on the flank. Cyzer goes down to YZ, although Hero does a little revenge there. Equalises the score, but it's looking grim for LG right now as they're getting forced back. Shade is getting separated here from Tyrone. He's got the crossbow out. He hits one, he's getting juggled, he can't finish him off. clckwrk steals that frag from Blaze there. That was brutal. And that is going to be just delightful for mesr here, sitting on 50%. Shade's still in the sin bin. He's about to spawn in the next 2 seconds, DJC.
Hero is on Sniper, so I'm going to put my eyes on him. It's 70% Uber for mesr right now, but that could all go away in one shot if Hero gets a good angle. He is spotted, though. The scout saw him put 3 damage on him and heard the sniper rifle go off. Trying to find mesr's positioning right now. He's just sitting behind his rock. Sniper literally cannot shoot there unless Hero can somehow shoot through walls, which I wouldn't be surprised. Hero is a pretty crazy player. Suicide's going to come out from LG, though. Everyone's simultaneously jumping. Tyrone is cleaned up. Uber's going to come out. Dave AC is still in behind. They risk banning for this. He's down to 57, getting pressured in main. Soldier will clean him up. Boomer with a nice pick there. So this is now 80% Uber for LG. And once again, it's just leapfrog after leapfrog after leapfrog. We get to see teams tick away some time, and then they have to defend against an Uber. LG have their spawns. They have their Uber. I want to see Spacewhales put heals on everyone and try and defend this off of the strength of that alone while keeping mesr alive. They do have pretty solid positioning right now. They're back to pretty far. They have one scout, clckwrk, grinding out the Uber, beating himself to death with that sword. Looks like LG want to go for the left side push here as they're bringing in Banny and Tyrone. The Uber's going to pop. Blaze is in, kind of stuck in the point. Dave AC and Tyrone are dead, though, so this Uber has gone awry, but clckwrk and Boomer cleaned up. Banny putting out a ton of damage. He's now trying to kill that combo. He knows that mesr is going to have his Uber, but he will not be able to do it, and Shade goes down late in the fight. So not only did they not cap, not only did their Uber not take down mesr, but that timer just keeps on ticking, and now we're down to 1 minute 10 seconds for the
Shade
Whales.
also died, and mesr's got another Uber, so they have to do another set of suicides and build a whole other Uber before they might have any real shot at getting this. Unless they get some sort of miracle shot out of Hero here, but I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, both teams are so ineffective at using Uber. I'd be happy to just go in here non-Uber, try and muscle it out a bit, because they just don't seem to get any frags out of it. And right now, they've got the force off, and they've only lost 1 so far, although Shade is on life support here. Tyrone does get health back, but will Shade make it out alive? No, he gets picked off by Dummy. I think YZ50 was going to get that frag anyway, and just as I suggest, a little bit of aggressive play, LG get punished for it big time.
Now, once again, we're going to see Spacewhales in this familiar position. They have a little bit of time to take away. They have an Uber advantage. They just need to keep mesr alive, and no matter what happens, they'll be able to retake this point. LG are getting their spawns. They're going to have to do a no Uber push, go off the strength of their overheals, and it might not be enough. Cyzer actually does get the entryway pick on a clockwork, so that's going to help a lot, but Cyzer has hurt himself, and they're just being delayed here. Time ticking away down to 5 seconds. Spacewhales trying to scatter 90% on mesr. If they can get this in time to block the point, it might well be over. Boomer is dead. Rollers all over the field. Shade has 65%. Uber's going to come out here onto the scout. YZ will pick up Tyrone. Still trying to fight, but everyone on LG is running away. Shade is down to YZ 50. Spacewhales on the cap. They have a demo and a scout there and a soldier in. DVC goes down. It's just Cyzer and Vanny fighting the point right now. Vanny has to walk onto it. He's risking himself to save the round because if LG doesn't block this, it's over. Vanny stays alive for so long, but that is it. That is a GG to the Spacewhales, taking it 4-3 on King of the Hill Viaduct.
That was a crazy game. So much back and forth. The aggressive crits were unbelievably fun to watch the first few rounds. Sorry to rub it in. Shame we had so many technical issues.
I have to say I enjoyed that, but I won't be voting for King of the Hill anytime soon in Europe.
No.
That's because Admirable knows he would drop 17 Ubers per map if he had to deal with it.
Control point enabled.
I'm just really confused. Like, how many times did we see Tyrone getting dropped there? Like, obviously, when they're pushing back in with the Uber charge and stuff, like, they're trying to get frags, trying to get damage done, but more often than not, Ubers would just trade it for the point. Like, is that really what you want to achieve with your Uber? I'm asking you guys, like, should they have been doing better, or is that the way it generally rolls?
Those were generally bad Ubers. With your Uber on Viaduct, you want the point. Like, if you Uber and don't get the point back, you failed, but you can't just get the point. You have to get picks, you have to make a fight of it, which is why a lot of these Ubers, you see that teams are trying to get really aggressive off of them, but the other team can just kind of walk away, because if you're jumping 2 soldiers in, there's a lot of room behind the point of Viaduct. Not so much on the point, but once you're in behind that house, there's a lot of area you can dodge around. So if Shade and mesr get back there, they can just get out more easily than if they're fighting near the point. That's the way I see it anyway.
Yeah, it just seemed like the Uber players were being totally ignored and everyone else would just cycle around and win the fight on the flank, so I'm just theory crafting,
yeah,
man, you know, trying to figure out how to break it.
I saw a lot of flank battles going in Spacewhales' favor. I saw a lot of clckwrk getting a lot of big kills towards the end. Like, it seems like the Ubers were exchanged, and as the medics tried to retreat, I think it just kind of shifted in favor of, you know, I think Clock and Blaze kind of sealed them in a little bit. Maybe got that med kill late that won it, and made sure they weren't able to repush until Shade respawned and got that Uber rebuilt.
We have the stats up on screen right now. Banny went crazy, had 510 damage per minute, went 47 and 26. And really the disappointment on LG's side is the soldiers. I think that's kind of what people expect. They're only at 21 and 32. Dave AC went 20 and 40. And compare that to the other soldiers, 29 and 37 and 28 and 30. Both Blaze and Boomer out-damaged Tyrone and Dave AC. And Dave's damage was pretty bad, down to 222. I mean...
Yeah, like, Dave's opener, like, for the first few middles, man, maybe, like, most of the middles, he was just jumping in that gap between the 2 houses, but every time clckwrk was just standing there on the gantry, like, just picking him off, wearing him down, and nearly every time I think he got that frag onto Dave, he just didn't seem to get anything done at the start, and then after that they always seemed to be struggling, and he was going in trying to get picks and it wasn't happening for him. Like, he just seemed to be totally shut down, taken out of the game. I was expecting big things, man. You built him up for me. You said he was the creative mastermind rumor extraordinaire, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he just isn't as good at Viaduct as he is at the maps. Maybe there was something else going on. Maybe he just didn't play that well. Individually it happens, but they will get another map to try and best the Spacewhales on. I would imagine at this point they're probably sitting there going, okay, we gotta pick Snakewater because we're amazing at it and we will win it. And that's just what they say. Vandy's probably sitting there going, no matter how bad Tyrone and Dave do, I can carry them on Snakewater. What's your opinion on map choices here, Sean Bud?
I'm sorry, LG chose Snakewater, is that right?
No, I'm just asking, what do you think you would do if you're LG right now?
Oh, what would I do if I was LG? Yeah, Snakewater, something they're strong at. I don't think they're... let's see. What would they pick? What else would they pick? Process or Snakewater would be my guess. I don't think they would do anything like G-Pit. Asheville, probably not. Badlands is like hit or miss, you know, that could go either way. Maybe if they're wanting to just get back to the, you know, something they're comfortable with, maybe Badlands, but I bet they feel like they're stronger on the Snakewater process, though.
So what were you gonna say there, Admirable, before I so rudely cut you off?
Oh, I'm used to it now, DJC. We've been casting together for a while, but I'm not sure what my original point was. But I'm just wondering, like, what sort of knowledge is clckwrk bringing to his team about this specific opponent? Obviously, he played quite a long time with LG. Like, is he just able to shut them down so well because he knows pretty much what they're going to do? Have they sort of brought out new plays this season, or are they just relying on their old faithfuls? You know what I mean? Has he got their number?
I'll let Sean Bud see if he can answer that.
You're asking if clckwrk, his past experience on the LG team, has anything to do with him being able to... I think it might, especially with Banny. Like, Banny he's predictable, so... like, predictable in the sense that he doesn't make mistakes, so he's probably where he should be most of the time. clckwrk, he's really good at, like, slipping in through openings and, you know, getting a little surprise flank on the meta or the combo. So maybe, to a certain extent. As far as shutting down DVC on Viaduct, that's just any scout is going to do that. The roamers on Viaduct are generally pretty much fodder for the scouts, and whichever one can end up doing most damage or end up surviving or get a medic or something. The KDs end up horrible, like really awful, but it looks like Blaze was maybe a little more successful than Dave that map.
Yeah, it was just whenever you guys were talking about map picks and stuff and the possibility of them going gullywash, I was wondering, would clckwrk have the key to unlock their defenses, but it looks like they picked Snakewater as I check the ESEA site.
Yeah, I don't think LG has been very comfortable on Gully this season. I think I remember watching Scrim it a little bit, and I think their mids were pretty atrocious, even though at I-46 they made a really strong showing on it. Snakewater, they've always been pretty good at it. It seems like Banny, he always goes huge on that map, so I'm not surprised by that choice.
I'm trying to get a hold of someone right now to find out what the next map is. I'll see if I can get in touch with maybe Tyrone, maybe someone from LG.
It says Snakewater on the ESEA site, man.
Really? That's pretty much what everyone expected, because that is by far LG's best map. Now we just gotta wait for the STV. I'll get in touch with Tyrone about that and see what can happen.
I'm gonna refill my drink. I'll be back.
Yeah. So basically we're just waiting to get an STV, some information about the next match. It will be Leviathan Gaming versus the Spacewhales on CP Snakewater. And this is LG's best map. It's not that Spacewhales are bad at it though, so we might see something just as good as we saw last time, a 4-3 finish on King of the Hill Viaduct.
Yeah, Snakewater's a map where you can, I mean, between the drop down and, you know, just the different routes on middle through saw room and then the window to drop down, there's a lot of room for scouts to flank and sneak behind you. And I expect to see maybe a few more back caps. Well, obviously because it's a 5 CP and not Koth, but I expect to see a few back caps, a lot of big flanks. clckwrk, I've seen him go huge several times, and in those fights that get extended in the in Snakewater Yard on the second point. It's when you really want to expect your scouts to hit all those shots, and clckwrk is kind of known for, you know, not missing when he needs to.
Taking a look here, talking to as many people as I can, trying to find out the start time of the next match. Since all 12 people are there, it probably will not be too long, not a big delay. That was what happened in the first match. There was no delay pretty much between the first and second match. I will talk to mesr and see what he's up to right now. Actually, they're starting to join a server, so I'll see if I can get an STV out of somebody. Actually, no, they're just all on the Viaduct server still.
Yeah, they're still in that one.
Really? Normally the servers go down after the matches. I guess they're just I see people are actually leaving now, so I'm going to assume that they'll start moving into a new server shortly. Basically, we have both teams warmed up. We're going to a map where LG feel like they can beat any team from any part of the world, anywhere. And I feel like after how Spacewhales played that last game, after how unkillable mesr was, what the hell are they scared of? Like, mesr literally died. Only time he died that I remember that was really a bad death was he walked forward to try and juke a rocket and he just got caught between 3 people. Every other time he was surfing away, he was dodging, he was getting out of the fight. It's pretty fantastic play out of him.
Was it partly to do with, like, the players they were sending in to kill mesr? It was always soldiers. Like, that's speaking as a medic. that's ideal. You want to surf away. Like, what if they'd Ubered scouts or something? Is that something you would see in Viaduct? Or am I just clutching at straws here?
I did see LG try it a few times when they knew Bro was on crits for basically like the entire first 2 rounds. I saw LG start to, once they did actually get the Uber, they did the smart thing, which is just to Uber people into them and kill a medic. Then there's no crits. But on a couple of the Ubers, they just didn't get to him. There was one where they Ubered Tyrone and a scout, and I think the scout might have got juggled, and then Tyrone ended up focusing like a scout behind the house instead of the medic when he needed to, I think. But yeah, that's generally how you want to deal with crits. Is, you know, eventually you need to get your Uber and spawn, and then it doesn't matter who you Uber as long as you get to the medic. And if you Uber a soldier, then there's always that chance for mesr to surf away, and he was on point that match for sure.
Yeah, I'm just catching up with the stats here. 11 deaths to 20 from Shade, 21 from Shade. That's quite a gulf.
Yeah, especially on Viaduct, where like generally in an even match, medic deaths are going to stay the same. So what does it say about LG's play, Sean, that mesr died 10 less times and it was that close?
I don't know what it was. He was on crits for a lot of the match too. I think at one point it was LG's Uber versus mesr's crits, and you would expect mesr to go down there. I think just in general they played the back and forth a little bit better. I think they were smarter about, you know, not just completely not leaving spawn when they knew the enemy team had crits on the point. Because as soon as you step out of spawn on Viaduct, you're gonna have a crit sticky flying at your face. So, it was just smart positioning from the whole team, not just mesr. You know, you have to know when you can push against that crits and when you can't, and I don't know, they just played it properly.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
In a game where crits is pretty much being run 70% of the time, you would expect more than 11 deaths. That's really what it boils down to. LG just could not finish off mesr when they needed to. And it almost ended their night could have ended 1 round earlier. There was that one where it finished with 2 seconds left on the clock because mesr just never died. Like, they would always just leapfrog Uber and mesr would stay alive.
Also the drops, weren't both drops to crit stickies?
I know one was. I don't remember the other. Yeah. I'm assuming so.
That was probably just the difference at the end. Shade had 2 drops, and you know, if you get those 2 Ubers off, it's probably would have defended the point instead of just losing it. So that's probably was the difference maker and why they won by 1 round, you know.
Yeah. One was a drop whenever he had crits. He was just standing on the sort of ramp up to the cliff, and everybody was looking at the bombing soldier, and then I think it was Boomer just standing on the top of the slope spamming rockets at him, and like there's nothing he could do. He couldn't save himself. A little bit heartbreaking to watch, but hey, that's life, man. That's TF2.
Russian Goyevich and a couple other people have been asking us, why do they have to change servers for each map? It's just how ESEA does it. It's automated. It finishes off one game and then starts up the next map on another server. It's how it does it. It's just all done automatically, which is why it works out like it does, because I guess it's easier in some way that way. I don't really know. I guess it's just they did it in CS, they do it here. It's not really it's not anything that creates an issue as far as I'm aware.
Does the client handle it all automatically for you? Like, does it send you to the new server and stuff? Or?
You just have to click on it and click join game once it's up.
They don't use a client on the
yeah, they don't use client at LAN, I don't think. At least that's what Harblue implied, because if they used the client, they would auto-record POV demos, which they just don't. I can see right now that LG are back in their server. Actually, the Spacewhales are in LG's server warming up right now, so I guess we're not too far off. Not going to give any kind of actual time estimate just because I'm not aware and the site doesn't say. And people are AFK right now, like RK is currently away, so I can't ask him till he's back. And I have confirmation from Memphis Vaughn. The client runs in the background, but you don't have to log into it. His source is, quote, "I've fucking been there." So that's Memphis Vaughn, ladies and gentlemen.